guys, it's Jen from over at worldofjencraft.com, and this is our project for today. So I know it's been a few days, well 6 exactly, that I have posted anything. My hubby had some time off and I spent some time just kind of hanging with him for a little while, and which was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, just hanging and doing nothing together, which was great. We need to do more of that. Anyways, yeah, so you don't want to hear about all of that. But I am back with one of the projects that I had for my Onstage display stamper, and it is just using one of the little pizza boxes. So it just is, this is it. And what I did is I just sponged the box, and so we'll be using the painted glass and Lilypad Lake, some new ribbon, but we are also using currant. And these doilies are retiring. I am so sad to see these go. I have definitely stocked up on these for sure. So let's get to the project supplies and I will show you how I put it together. This ribbon will be available June 1st. It is a Bermuda Bay and it's a mini striped ribbon. This was one of the ribbons that was given to me in my display stuff, so I have absolutely fallen in love with it. Also, painted glass and Lilypad Lake. These are both stamp sets that are going to be available June 1st to everybody, or if you join Stampin' Up, join my team, you can get these ahead of time. So starting in May, you would be able to order these. Just an idea, put that little kind of thought in your brain. And the layering circles, framelets, and the stitch shapes framelets. I used Pool Party and Bermuda Bay for my inks, along with a dark Pool Party and the light Bermuda Bay from the Stampin' Blends. And you could also use the Stampin' Write markers with these if you have those as well. And then of course the pizza box. So this is how it comes, just flat and white. And for actual cardstock, there's not much to it. This is a pretty simple project. You know, once you have your pizza box, you're almost golden. So the doily and your basic black, I have a 3-inch scalloped circle, a 2 7/8 inch stitched circle in Pool Party, and a 2 5/8 inch circle in this shimmery white cardstock. Every once in a while, I love to pull this stuff out and play with it. And you will also need a scrap in order to cut out and stamp this little sailboat on here. Of course, you don't have to do that if you just want to, you know, leave it just flat. But I do kind of like the way that turned out. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper and get to sponging our box. Okay, so let's grab out our box here, and I have a shadow here of my cord, so I'm just going to fix that quick. There we go. Not that there isn't any other shadows, but that one was bugging me. So what I would recommend when you are sponging ink on to the box is make sure that you have plenty of ink in your pad. So if it means getting a re-inker and re-inking, which I did just before so here's my little re-inker. So I did go ahead and re-ink right before I started my video. And I'm just using one of these little sponges. It comes off. I got them off of Amazon. But if you have the round sponge, you can cut it into quarters and that works good too. So I'm just going to get this nice and inked up on here, and I'm just going to apply it going around in a circular motion. And when you have plenty of ink on there, it just means that you're not spending as much time or as much effort and energy applying that ink, because it just soaks in really nicely into the cardstock there. So I am going to continue to do this, but I am going to also fast forward through it, and I will come back to you when it is completely inked up. So this is what you were going to have. Now right now it kind of just looks a little blotchy and it doesn't look like it's all that special. But this is going to need a little bit of time to dry because there is so much ink that has saturated into the paper on this. I am going to set this aside and wait for it to completely dry before I start stamping the image on top of it. And the way I learned that was, of course, the hard way, because the first time I attempted this, I stamped immediately after I sponged, and my ink kind of wanted to bleed into the dampness that is on this cardstock right now. So I did another one, waited for it to completely dry, and then I stamped over it, and it worked just fine. My images were crisp, it wasn't blurry or anything. So setting that aside, let's go ahead and just get started on the image itself. And for that, I'm going to use my pool party again, and I'm going to take one of this kind of longer image here from the Lilypad Lake, and we're just going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp, oh, I don't know, probably about here. Yeah, and then we'll just kind of stamp again to fill that in at the bottom. So I think that should be about right. Yeah. And then I'm going to stick this up here because I don't know if it helps you guys to have it in the picture, but it certainly helps me to have it in front of me to know that I'm actually recreating it correctly. So I am going to use some Memento ink to stamp our image, which I had to go grab quick. I had card class on Saturday, and my card class is upstairs in my dining room, and I still have some of it still up there, which was my Memento ink and scissors and quite a few other things. So forgive me if I am short of breath. I think I'm out of shape. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp the little sailboats on to the front here, and I'm going to keep them over to the side a bit and down a little bit into the water. So I think this looks about right there, and that didn't stamp out as well as I like it. And then I'm going to stamp out the image again. Well, that turned out nice, much nicer and much crisper. So let's start with this one, and I'm going to go ahead and color this in using Pool Party. And then I just colored in this portion, but I left those little lines for the Bermuda Bay. And then this side of it. And then the Bermuda Bay. And I didn't really need to, oh yeah, I did, okay. Oh man, I'm just all kinds of, so I did go ahead and color both this one and the one that we are cutting out. Sometimes I don't, but this one I did. So we're just going to color in this, and then this one over here. And then each of these little lines going across in that Bermuda Bay. In the bottom of the sailboats, I colored in a dark smoky slate. Let's get this. I am all kinds of disorganized. Part of me wants to start the video over, but I'm already deep into it, so we're just going to go with it. And here I thought I had everything all put out and organized. And all right, so the only thing we need from this one is going to be this middle one here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just color it in using the exact same that I did for this one. I really love the Bermuda Bay and Pool Party colors together. They complement each other so well. And they're perfect, I think, for this type of stamp set too, for the water. these going across here. And then this one. This one definitely stamped out a lot nicer. All right. And then quickly, I'm going to just cut out. There is a die for this, but when I created this project, I did not have the die available to me, but I did find it was, I mean, it's a pretty simple shape to cut out, so that didn't bother me so much to have to do it. So we'll just kind of come in here quick. And the lines are nice and they're a little bit thicker, if you will. So it makes it for cutting out just a little bit easier. Let's see, we'll cut that off. Come in here. And then just cut into there. That should take off that little corner there. All right, so this is just going to get popped up onto the top of that using a pop dot. And I think I can put a whole one, yep, down here at the bottom. So that'll go just directly on top of this one. And we need to put our sentiment. This sentiment is, I just love the font and be calm and leave it to God. It's a great sentiment. So let's see, hopefully I left myself enough room here, so I'm just going to stamp it. There you go. All right, perfect. Done. And that's just going to get adhered onto our pool party. And I love, lately I've been using these circles that are just slightly smaller than the stitching, and using my stitching as just kind of that really pretty extra detail that goes around that. And that's going to get adhered to our basic black. And for some reason I just love the way that basic black just makes everything pop on there. This one is going to get pop dots as well adhered to it, and then we're going to put that on the doily, but I think I'm going to wait to put that on the doily until I actually adhere the doily onto the top of our board. So let's bring our box, I guess is what it is. I think I'm going to take my chance. This still feels like it might be a little damp, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot anyways. And I'm just going to use this. This is a really pretty detailed stamp from the painted glass. And all I did was I just took my pool party. So it's just going to be your tone on tone, your pool party on pool party. And stamp it out. And when I stamped it out, I lined up the very edge of my stamp here that I can see with the edge of this that I can see. So I do like using a little bit bigger block so I get a good look at where I'm lining up. So I'm just going to line that up where I can see the edge of my rubber to the edge of that previous stamped. And that turns out, if you continue doing it that way, and I'll line it up here again, then you'll have a nice separation between them. I think I'm going to try and see, I don't want to put my head in the way, but then I just go ahead and keep doing that all the way across. So I cover my whole entire surface with the stamp. So I'll go ahead and fast forward while I finish this. So when you are done, this is what your box will look like. So it's completely covered, and I think that just turns out so beautiful. Now it will lighten up, and get to be about like this. So this is what it looks like right now. And you can see it's considerably darker, but it will lighten up. And I do like it because then it just looks like this really soft pattern that is on the whole entire box. So assembling the box is pretty darn easy. You just want to crease in all of these areas where the scoring is. Just like this. And then you will bring this portion of your box in, and this is going to come and just attach there inside. And then this just gets folded up and over, and there you go. Simple as that. Love these things. So let's get to the doily, and you want to be careful when you apply adhesive to your doilies so you don't rip it like I just did. But we're going to pretend that didn't happen. I tell you, maybe I shouldn't have done a video today. Or maybe I shouldn't have taken so much time off from doing them. But I wanted to, I miss you guys, and I didn't want you to think that I had completely abandoned you, because I did not. I've got some really fun projects planned that I cannot wait to be able to show you. I have a card class already planned for the month of May, an online card class that I am super stoked to be able to show you guys. I started with it and it quickly became a card class, and I love it. So anyways, so that's just going to get stuck onto here. And because I can't do a project without our Wink of Stella, I just went ahead and brushed. And even though we are using the shimmery white cardstock, I did feel that this looked really pretty with just a brush of shimmer on it. Get it here. And you probably could, if you wanted to, put a little brush of shimmer even more into the water to maybe make it look like there's little water peaks. So there it is. And lastly, maybe that wasn't last, we are going to pull out our ribbon and just tie a quick little bow and stick it onto the top. This ties really good bows, let me tell you. That's how I know if it's a ribbon that I'm gonna like, if it's good at getting nice bows. So I think that's about how I want that. I'm just gonna trim off the edges and grab a glue dot, and then we will officially be done. So that one I just kind of put up here. So just like that. And I think this is a little bit longer than the other one, so that's going to bug me. All right, perfect. There it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this project as much as I did creating it. If you would like, I'll have dimensions listed on my website in a PDF format that you can download and print if you would like. And if you would like to, yes, over at worldofjencraft.com, and if you would like to shop with me, jen.stampinup.net. There are quite a few clearance things and products like these doilies that will be going away. And if you snooze, you lose right now because they are going super fast. So yeah, if you want it, grab it. Otherwise, it'll be gone forever. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will check you guys on my next video. Bye.